Hi guys, just wanted to show you a little upgrade I've done on my Scarab Vampire. I've done a video before on using the TRF4 FrSky receiver of my Futaba 14SG radio into the summed input of a Paris board. Using the summed input, we basically get full functionality of the Paris board, and we do it with just the one cable. And I've done a video on how to change the code for the Paris and set it up. But what I've done is I've upgraded now from the TRF4 to the FrSky or FrSky TFRSP receiver. Now really in essence same functionality but with some bonus outputs. So I've still got the CCPM output, and what that does is that sends 8 channels on the one lead here into the summed input of my Paris V5 board. Of course you can use the summed input on an Air 2 or Paris V4. Basically any of the Paris boards will allow you to do a summed input. You just got to change the sketch file to allow for it, which I've covered in the previous video. So basically what that lets me do is get all 8 channels into my Paris board, which is great, one lead. Another nice feature on both models of the FrSky receiver is they have an RSSI output. You can see here this yellow wire that I've run out of the signal lead of the RSSI, and that's connecting to the RSSI input of the built-in on-screen display in my Paris V5 board here. So I get a signal strength indicator on my on-screen display and all 8 channels functional within the receiver. Now I already had that with the previous receiver, so why the upgrade? Well, I did a previous video on how to hack the gimbal outputs of the Paris to drive the pitch adjustment for my Scarab Black gimbal. So basically I was doing something dodgy with one of the channels and a slider on my radio to then drive a gimbal output which was set at 0. Anyway, it was messy. But now, because not only does this have the CCPM output and the RSSI output, but if you look really, really closely, maybe you can't see it, but we also have channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, channel 8, and unique to this product, channel 9 and channel 10 available as normal sort of servo outputs on the receiver. So what I've done is, instead of running my slider through one of the aux channels and hacking the code in the thing to then drive, in the Paris to then drive that, I don't need to. I've just set that slider on my radio to channel 9, and now I take the pitch input lead of my gimbal and plug it into channel 9. So I actually have control over a normal conventional servo lead, right? Now the other cool thing is I've also added to my Vampire, it's a bit hard to see, a video switcher, because I've added an extra camera to simulate the gimbal output. So I want to be able to switch between my gimbal camera and my fixed camera, so I've added a video switch, which needs a servo lead to drive it, which is here, and I've simply programmed channel 10 to be on a switch on my radio, so I now plug this lead into channel 10. So now I've got channel 10 driving my video switcher, I've got channel 9 driving my pitch override on my gimbal, but I've still got all 8 channels available via the CCPM lead into the summed input of my Paris. So I've got all of my stick controls plus 4 auxiliary channel switching available inside the Paris from this, which is really cool. Now, if you didn't really need all 4 aux channels, you have them available as well as outputs here. So say you only need 2 aux channels in your Paris for what you want to do with your code, and for a long time we've worked with just 2 aux channels, so we're all used to doing that. So you could actually have channels 7 and 8 off this operating on the stuff. Don't know what that might be. but the functionality is available. So now, just by upgrading from this to this, and this is only a few bucks more, I've got this added flexibility of these servo outputs. So anyway, that's what I've been up to the last few days. I'll catch you guys online. Bye.